I got a lot of books on this TBR. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules, and let's talk about my March possibilities. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I know I said I was not gonna make big TBRs, but March is a big month. It's a busy month. There are so many readathons happening. A lot of them are all month long. So it's not like I have a short time period to read these books. I have like all month to get all these done. So let's start with the month-long readathons that I'm gonna be doing. The first one I'll mention is for Jess's Patreon. It is a rainbow reading challenge and it's all month. So basically we are reading books with the colors of the rainbow on the covers. So I didn't set a TBR for this. Basically, I just looked at what I had on my TBR already, and pretty much I have all of the colors covered at some point. Although my stack is looking pretty blue. A lot of these books have blue in them. The second readathon I'm going to participate in is Middle Grade March. I love me some middle grade. I will have all the hosts linked below so that you can go check out their announcement videos and then you can participate if you would like. So I wanted to clean out my shelves. I already had a bunch of middle grade that I haven't read yet, so I wanted to make sure that I read those. So I'm not going to be doing any of the prompts or the buddy read or anything like that. I'm just going to be reading middle grade, which means I participated. So here are the 4 books that I picked out off of my shelf. And it just so happened that 2 of the books I picked have night in the title and 2 of the books have the word monster in the title. So I will probably do a vlog reading these. So the first one I have is Let the Monster Out by Chad Lucas. I don't really know much about this. It just says, strange shared dreams, a mysterious scientist's journal, and a summer these boys will never be able to forget. That's all I know about it, but it talks about a monster, so it's got to be good. The next book I have is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This says, the monster showed up after midnight, as they do, but it isn't the monster Connor's been expecting. The one from the nightmare he's had nearly every night since his mother started her treatments. The one with the darkness and the wind and the screaming. This monster is something different, something ancient, something wild, and it wants the truth. My sweet friend Leah gifted this to me. It does have grief representation in it, so I have been wanting to read this. So this is the perfect time. The next one I'm going to pick up is The Night Gardener by Jonathan Auxier. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. It just says, the Night Gardener follows 2 abandoned Irish siblings who travel to work as servants at a creepy, crumbling English manor house. But the house and its inhabitants are not quite what they seem. Soon the children are confronted by a mysterious stranger and by an ancient curse that threatens their very lives. It sounds creepy. And then the last one I have is The Night Train by Lorelei Savern. And this one, I have my little gift note. This was gifted to me by my friend Tammy. I don't really know much about this one. It just basically looks like it's 2 sisters and their nan passes away and she can actually see ghosts, and then she passes that on to them. And so then they start seeing ghosts, and there's something about a decades-old train crash and a ghost story about it. So anyway, it sounds spooky. At the back it says, if you hear the night train whistle, taste sulfur on your tongue, inhale the scent of ash and soot, your best bet is to run. I love spooky middle grade, so I'll definitely be doing a vlog reading these, so be on the lookout for that. The next readathon that is all month is March Mystery Madness. I heard about this through Tiffany at the Beach Bum Bookworm. I also did do it last year, so I was already in the Discord, so I'm excited to participate again this year. This was created by Lizzie Faye Books, so I will link hers and Tiff's announcement videos, and then you can go check out. There's like a bunch of co-hosts for this, so you could check out all their videos. And they have like a link specifically to go for all the videos for March Mystery Madness. And there is also a Discord, like I said, that you could join. Basically, we're reading cozies, and the theme this year is through the decades. So you read cozies through different decades. So there are 3 different paths that you could follow. I'm not sure exactly what they all are. So I know one of the paths was to read books that the story is set in certain decades. One, you could read books published over a whole different decades or focus on one specific decade. Though I'm choosing to do just the last decade. So from 2015 to 2025, any books that were published in that decade, that is what I'm going to read. So the first one that I'm going to pick up is A Matter of Life and Death by L.A. Alexander. This was published in 2015. This is book 2 in her Bake Shop mystery. I do own the first one. I do think it might be one that I want to collect, but I really enjoyed the first one, so I want to read a few more, and then if I really like them, I might collect them. The second one I'm going to pick up is The Crepes of Wrath by Sarah Fox. This was published in 2016. This is a pancake house mystery. We love a good pancake. The third book that I'm going to pick up is Murder Lo Mein by Vivian Chin. This is the third book in the Noodle Shop mystery. I own all of these books and I have not read them all. We are doing a read along in Hannah's Comfy Cozy Book Club where we are reading one book every month. So this is the book for March. This was published in 2019. Pause while my dogs bark. And the last book I'm going to pick up is 6 Feet Deep Dish by Mindy Quigley. This is a pizza themed mystery and it was published in 2022. So yes, you may notice that all of these cozies are food themed. You know, I love a good food themed cozy. So yes, I will be doing a food themed cozy vlog in the month of March. So be on the lookout for it. The next readathon that I'm going to be participating in as well as co-hosting for is Let's Get Graphic. I'm going to be co-hosting with Gwen and Keisha. This is just going to be a 24-hour readathon. It is just to read as many graphic novels, manga, comics that you can read in 24 hours. So this will be from March 7th through March 8th. We will have reading sprints on Gwen's channel on Friday night. All three of us have posted the information on our Instagrams as well as our community tabs on our YouTube channels. I will link all that information below so you have it. But I wanted to talk about what I'm going to read. This is the third year she's doing it, so the prompts are kind of geared around that. The first prompt is to read a book with a 3-word title, and for that I'm going to be reading Fairest of All. It's a villains graphic novel by Serena Valentino. I have mentioned in some of my videos that I do own all of the villains books by this author. They're up on the top of my bookshelf, but they are basically the stories of how the villains became villains. So this is just a graphic novel one for Snow White and the Evil Queen. The second prompt is to read a book with 3 or more people on the cover. And for that, I'm going to be reading Off Menu by Oliver Gerlach. I just saw this on Summer's channel. She did like a birthday haul and apparently she got this and it looks super cute. It obviously is fantasy. It looks like it's got, you know, a fairy guy on there. But this just says, Soup loves cooking. Soup is the name of this girl. Soup loves cooking, especially with her wonderful coworkers at the Brazen Manticore. But when her toxic boss threatens to destroy the community she has worked so hard to build, she challenges him the only way she knows how, with a cooking competition. Anything with food, y'all. You know I love books with food. So anyway, it looks bright, colorful, it looks fun, so I'm going to be reading that. The third prompt is to read a middle grade graphic novel, and for that I am going to be reading Goosebumps, Creepy Crawly Y'all, take 5. I cannot say Creepy Crawly Comics. Say that 3 times fast. Creepy Crawly Comics. Creepy Crawly Comics. Creepy Crawly Comics. Anyway, for that, I'm going to be reading Goosebumps, Creepy Crawly Comics. I had to say it slow because I cannot say it fast. And yeah, you know, I love my Goosebumps, so it looks like fun. And the fourth prompt is to read a book with spring vibes. And for that, I'm going to be reading Lightfall, Shadow of the Bird. Look how springy it is. This is book 2 in the Lightfall series. I really like the first one. I don't own the first one, but I'm going to own the first one. I got this one on sale through Pango and I hadn't read it yet, so that's why I got it, but I still need to get the first book. But anyway, yeah, it's such a cute story. The graphics are so colorful and fun. If you haven't checked out this series, I definitely recommend picking up the first one because it's super cute. And just to be extra, I'm going to try to read more than just those 4 books. I don't know if I will, but I have them here to show you. So the first one I picked up from the library is The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich by Dea Muniz. And I have seen this around. I wanted to get to this last year for Let's Get Graphic, but I didn't have time. I don't know much about this. I do know it is a queer romance, and it does say readers will devour this romantic comedy about mistaken identity, true love, and lots of grilled cheese. Who doesn't love grilled cheese? Am I right? I think Summer also mentioned she got this one too, so that's what put it back in my mind. And then I have The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. Isn't that so pretty? 15-year-old Morgan has a secret. She can't wait to escape the perfect little island where she lives. She's desperate to finish high school and get as far away as possible from her sad divorced mom, her volatile little brother, and her group of best friends who don't actually know Morgan at all. Because really, Morgan's biggest secret is that she has a lot of secrets, including the one about wanting to kiss girls. So, and it also is very colorful. Another one that I want to get to is Chef's Kiss. There's like 4 authors. Ben Cook is on the job hunt looking for anything related to his passion for reading and writing. According to the hiring committees, he doesn't have enough experience, but when he stumbles upon a now hiring, no experience necessary sign outside of a restaurant, he jumps at the chance to land his first job. He's actually not so bad in the kitchen, plus he can keep looking for a writing job in the meantime. But when he begins developing a crush on Liam, one of the super dreamy chefs at the restaurant, he'll start to feel torn between wanting to stay and cook and following his original post-college plan to be a writer. So also very colorful. And then the last one I have is the Disney Part of Your World, A Twisted Tale graphic novel. This is the Little Mermaid one. So I'm excited to get to this one as too. I love the Twisted Tales. I read the Twisted Tale Peter Pan one recently, the actual book, and I really liked that. So when I saw there was graphic novels, I was like, of course, I want it. This is my big, ambitious graphic novel reading. I will for sure read for the prompts, and then hopefully I can get to the rest of them. And I will also be doing a reading vlog for this. So keep an eye out for that. And then for Gwen's Patreon, she's doing a short readathon from March 20th to 23rd. I'm not going to tell you what those prompts are. You have to join her Patreon if you want to do that, which I highly recommend. But I am going to be, for that, 2 books that I know I'm going to be reading for that is Anne of the Island. This is book 3 in the Anne of Green Gables series. Some of us are reading this whole series in her Patreon, so that fits for one of the prompts. And then I'm going to be reading All Shall Mourn by Ellie Marney. I cannot wait to read this book. So this is the 3rd book in the None Shall Sleep series. It is the final book, so this is just a trilogy. They are so good. So good. Highly recommend reading this series. It is fast-paced thrillers. Basically, a girl who escaped a serial killer. She ends up working with the police to help track down a different serial killer, and then they have to do interviews with another serial killer to try and like piece together like clues to figure out like who their next victim's going to be, or like how to find him and all this. So it's very good. You should read it. And then also for Gwen's Patreon, our book pick for March is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have already read this, but I'm going to reread it because I have not continued in the series yet, but I want to. So this is just going to be a refresher for me, so then I can continue in the series. And then for Jess's Sleep When I'm Dead book club, we are going to be reading A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. It says, when Theodore Scott met Connor, wealthy, charming, and a member of a powerful Dalton family, she fell in love in an instant. 6 months later, he brought her to Idlewood, his family's isolated winter retreat, to win over his skeptical relatives. Theo has tried to ignore the threatening messages on her phone, but she can't ignore footprints in the snow outside the cabin window or the strange sense of familiarity she has about this place. Then, in a disused cabin, Theo finds something impossible, a photo of herself as a child, a photo taken at Idlewood. Theo has almost no recollection of her earliest years, but now she begins to piece together the fragments of her memories and realizes she is in terrible danger. Someone here has a shocking secret that they'll do anything to keep hidden, and discovering what happened at Idlewood may cost Theo everything. And then I am also going to be reading My Lucky Charm by Courtney Walsh. This is the 2nd book in the Holidays with Heart series. The first one is My Phony Valentine, which I just recently read and I loved it. So I definitely wanted to continue in it. It looks cute and I wanted to read it this month because it's like St. Patrick's Day themed. And then the last book that I know of that I want to get to is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So I am rereading this whole series. Jess's Patreon, some of us are rereading this. So we are on book 3 and I'm very excited. I don't have the illustrated copy of this, so I will just be reading it in my regular book, but I am still planning on collecting them. I love the series. I don't have to tell anybody what it's about. It's Harry Potter. So this is my ginormous pile of possibilities. And look how blue. They're very blue. All of these books, I think every single one of these books has blue in them. That was not planned. I know it seems like a lot, but most of these are graphic novels, middle grade, cozy mysteries. All of those are books that I can burn through really fast. I think March and April are usually my highest reading months of the year because of all of these readathons in March. And then April, I always do old school April, which I'm very excited. The announcement's coming out very soon for that. I always read a bunch of old school like Goosebumps, Point Horror, things like that are really fast to get through. So let me know below if you're planning on participating in any of these readathons. And like I said, all of the information will be linked below so you can go check out all those announcement videos. I hope you have a great reading month in March. And until my next video, be yourself, be awesome, be kind. Bye.